Hey everyone, and welcome to episode 20 of the Giant Blue Podcast. I'm your host, Jack Macmillan, and with me as always is your other host, Sean Guy. And, well, we're still recovering from the Disney podcast, I think. And
We're still just recovering from the year.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just been like...
It has been the quickest motherfucking year of my life.
Did we not do the season 1 podcast wrap like a couple of weeks ago?
It literally feels like a couple of months ago.
Yeah,
we were like at your place at the bar, like,
Yeah.
and it's like it's been a whole year.
It's crazy.
Which means like Josh and Caitlin, like I was like, oh, that means they weren't on like this whole year. Like we didn't get a chance to get them on.
And they were both so keen, and we said we'd get them on.
If you're listening to this, Josh and Caitlin, I am really sorry. I wanted to get you guys on. We've kind of cut this season short. This is the season finale. We're only doing 7 episodes this season because I guess, I don't know, we sort of took breaks. There was like long breaks between episodes, and I'm leaving to New Zealand next week as well.
That's true.
So it should be cool. But yeah, so this is just going to be a little quick wrap up. I think I want to say thanks, and I just want to talk about some of the movies and TV shows that came out this year that we enjoyed.
Yeah, I'm keen to talk about that as well.
Yeah, just a nice sort of chill podcast after the intense Disney podcast last week. Yeah, which I'm still mad about in some respects. I think Tangled is better than Big Hero 6. Not even a question. Big Hero 6 came and went. Let's be honest. You didn't hear about it again after. Like the biggest thing that came out of Big Hero 6 is now that it's in Kingdom Hearts 3.
Is Tangled?
What do you mean? Tangled got like a TV show. Tangled brought Disney. Tangled, just you shut your mouth. Tangled is good. And I do think Monsters, Inc.'s better than Bug's Life. And I feel like,
it might be actually. I don't know. I've just watched the both again, and I love Bug's Life, and I'll always love Bug's Life.
I love Bug's Life too. I just think Monsters, Inc. is just a funnier, smarter film, I think.
It's probably smart. Yeah, it might be on both accounts, but not by much.
No. And then I feel like Incredibles should just be higher as well, I think.
Yeah. I don't know. Incredibles got snubbed. That is a great film.
A lot of things got snubbed. I feel like all the Toy Stories should have combined into one big Toy Story juggernaut that beats Lion King, I think.
One big 6-hour juggernaut.
Absolutely. I should mention as well, it wasn't until afterwards that I realized, like, because it wasn't the older Disney stuff. It wasn't like Snow White or Pinocchio or Dumbo or Bambi. Yeah, those ones. It was very much the... I think they call it the
Renaissance
era, where they came back with Little Mermaid in 89.
90s.
Yeah, it's basically 90s, like early, like 90s. But then, even then, I've got here, there was no Hunchback of Notre Dame,
which is a snub as well. I mean...
You really?
I think that's a great film.
I haven't seen it for a while. Yeah, I know it's good. I mean, they're all good.
I remember it as being great, but maybe I don't know.
There was no Atlantis, which I know you and I are big fans of.
Amazing movie.
Yeah. No Treasure Planet. I'm not super crazy about it, but I know a lot of people like it.
It's funny, because I said Lilo and Stitch was the only sci-fi film on there, and I didn't even think of Treasure Planet.
Neither did I.
Which is a pretty good film, I think. I remember liking it.
I enjoyed it, I think.
But, yeah, I don't know if it would have...
It's funny, because it shares a lot of similarities with a certain film that came out this year.
Treasure Island?
No. No, a certain Star Wars film.
Oh, what?
Solo.
Does it?
The whole time I was like, this is just Treasure Planet. Dude, when they escape out of the black hole they ride the wave out of the black hole, I was like, this is like shot for shot Treasure Planet. Because in Treasure Planet they ride the black hole's giving off gravity
definitely.
Surges, and they ride it out on the solar sailor.
Yeah.
They do the same thing in Solo.
Yeah, you're dead right.
I said it to Felix, and his like jaw hit the ground. He was like, "You're totally right." Like,
yeah, you are. I'm like stumped here. I mean, I knew Solo wasn't a great film, but
yeah.
Like, one of my criticisms has never been, it's Treasure Planet. That was never something that came to mind.
And then, interesting enough, no Wreck-It Ralph.
Yeah.
I really like Wreck-It Ralph.
Yeah.
I feel like it's not anyone's favourite, though, really.
I don't know. I'm keen to see number 2.
I think I am, too, but I think that's just because it's, like...
Fun and...
It's got all the references
internet
and stuff like that.
and the Disney
stuff. It could go either way, though. If it's, like, really... I don't know, like
it's had good reviews though.
The hard thing with doing these podcasts, I think, is like you do think of so many things after the fact, or your point wasn't clear, like really, and you get like frustrated. I'm like, oh, I wish I'd made my point more clear. Like I probably came off as like a dick or uninformed or something like that. Yeah,
it's tricky being you gotta be on the spot. We were talking about that just before. So apologies to everyone if we've said anything that you didn't like.
Yeah, or like our
didn't agree
points
with.
weren't clear. It is hard. It is hard to do it like live. Like yes, it is edited after the fact, but. And I cut some things out or I cut around some things, but for the most part, it is what it is.
It's just verbatim,
yeah.
And we disagree with ourselves sometimes too.
Oh, exactly. I've said things later and I'm like,
like 3 days later, I'm like, what?
I mean, I think we wanted it on a t-shirt, was it one time? This is like a long time ago, like practice podcast, like unreleased podcast is when I said Arrow is the best show on television.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, I see clips of it now and I'm just like, eee.
And I'll hold you to that till the day you die.
That was a slow year that year.
Yeah, that was the year I stopped watching television, I think. I was like, oh, this is the best show on television?
I can't believe it. It was like 2015. I really kept up with all those, like Arrow and Flash and
for
Supergirl.
ages I did as well.
And then I just stopped.
Just became too much. There's like 5 or 6 of them now, and then there's like 5 or 6 Netflix shows.
Yeah.
I mean, we can talk. That's sort of a good transition.
Pretty much. I was just thinking the same thing. We can talk about some TV shows. I do have some quick anecdotes I want to tell you. Some funny anecdotes.
Okay.
Just 2 anecdotes. So first of all, a friend made a really funny post about the Road to El Dorado. And he was like, even though it's called the Road to El Dorado, they sure spend a lot of time in El Dorado. I thought that was really funny.
That's not wrong.
It's not wrong. The second one was apparently Pokemon Detective Pikachu has been rated PG-13, which means he can legally say fuck 1 time.
I don't want that to happen. Ryan Reynolds' voice coming out of Pikachu. Pika, fuck!
Charizard, like, when he grabs him at the end of the show, he's like, fuck! Yeah. Oh, man. What a riot. That's honestly my most anticipated movie. Like, I'd rather see that than Avengers 4, I think.
God.
It's just like, I don't know. I reckon, I'm still skeptical, but I'm just so intrigued by it.
It's so strange.
In fact, speaking of Avengers 4, we should be getting a trailer for that sometime soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, TV shows, I really didn't watch a lot of TV shows this year.
It's funny because we talk about this a lot, and you said, I think a year ago, or maybe even 18 months or something.
I think it was last year.
You were like, I'm just going to stop watching TV shows because it's bogging me down. There's other stuff I want to do. And I was like, hey, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
And I have not watched any TV shows since that day. I've watched the new season of BoJack Horseman, which was phenomenal. Yeah. I mean, that is a great show.
It is. I think I texted you halfway through. I'm just like, fuck, this show is fucking like on another level.
And it's so like, just nobody watches it. Like, it's just kind of there in the background of Netflix. But like, every time I watch it, just gets clever.
I mean, people must be, otherwise I think it'd be cancelled, I think.
Yeah.
Because I watched, actually, not to get too far away from your point, yeah, I said last year I wasn't going to watch any shows, and I think I ended up watching, like, probably 10 shows.
Yeah.
Like, I watched a lot of stuff. Like,
I think last year I watched, like, 3, and this year I've literally only watched, like, 1 or 2.
I kept meaning to just sit down and binge a bunch of stuff, and I just haven't. Like, I didn't watch Daredevil Season 3, which has been cancelled, and then I did watch American Vandal Season 2, and that got cancelled. And I really liked American Vandal Season 2. I didn't think it was justified, like them making a second season, but first episode in, I was hooked.
It's funny. I watched the kids.
The kids they cast are phenomenal.
Yeah, the kids are great.
Really are. Like, they get some really talented actors.
It looks real. I mean, for a mockumentary, it's like they're not even acting. I was eating dinner when I watched the first episode, and that's when it shows them all. You know, and I was like,
what do they call it? The diarrhea? I don't know, catastrophe or something.
I was like, I can power through this. The brown out.
Good lord. There was so much stuff. Like, I got overwhelmed, because I think Daredevil said Season 3, and then Making a Murderer Season 2 came out, and I loved Season 1. I didn't watch that. I do want to watch that. But I watched BoJack. Did you watch Final Space? I watched Final Space.
I watched about 18 minutes of the first episode.
Oh, really?
14
you didn't
minutes.
Like it?
I don't know. I haven't been doing well with TV this year.
I'm not crazy about it, but I did enjoy it. But yeah, there was The Dragon Prince, which was the makers of The Last Airbender. I didn't watch that. I didn't watch Disenchanted.
Oh, I did watch Disenchanted.
Oh, did you?
I can add that to my list. That's the 3rd show I've watched in 2018.
People said it was okay. Iona loved it. She said it was good.
There was like some really funny moments. I mean, I finished it.
Yeah. And one of the weirdest ones was I started watching Maniac. And I meant to finish it, and I just never got around to. I thought it was a movie, and I was like, hour and a half, here we go. And then it was like, surprise, it's a 10-episode show, which is like an hour long, and I was like, ugh. And like, it's a slow show. Like, the first episode, me and Iona were like falling asleep. Like,
I didn't mind it because I knew it would be a slow burn, but I was like, it was too much for me. Like, I knew there was so much coming, because you've seen the trailer. I mean, all the alternate realities and stuff.
There was just so much, like, world building, and I was like, this it just isn't what I expected from this show. You should never judge based on your expectation. You should judge based on what's given to you, which I think is a huge, like, topic we can save for another time, because I think that plays into so many things. Like, when people are like, oh, they should have done this. And I'm like, well, that's your opinion. Like you have to judge what is given to you. I think, you know what I mean? Like, if someone gives you like a pizza, you're like, oh, I wish it was ice cream. Like, I don't know. You know, you should judge the pizza.
I don't know how I feel about
that analogy. I make weird analogies. Anyway.
That's good.
But yeah, I watched 2 episodes and I was just like,
I only watched 1, and I enjoyed it probably more than you, because you were like, I just watched the first 2 episodes and I'm not going to go back to it.
Well, it's like, they ended, I think, pretty sure they ended the second episode, they were about to go in the dream world, and then, but by that point, I was like, I need to go outside. Like, I need to do something else.
And it's depressing too. I mean, like, they're sad, morbid characters.
I just couldn't believe the amount of world building that they did. It was like, they were trying to establish like a whole universe.
And there was that thing with like the people reading ads to them on the train and stuff.
Yeah, and there was like those little cleaner robot things that they talked to. I was like,
I get it. It's in the future and it's not a happy future. Like,
it's just like an alternate
I
reality.
guess.
Yeah, it was weird.
I also watched Would I Lie to You, the new season.
What's that?
It's one of those British talk shows. It's just, it's so funny. You just put on in the background and listen to them they tell funny stories to each other, and like, then the opposite team has to work out if they're true or not. It's a hard concept to. It's not that hard a concept. You just gotta watch an episode. It's so funny.
Yeah. Okay. I'll check it out.
It's my feel good show.
I'll put it on the list.
Yeah, do.
Someone else,
The list of movies never to watch.
Oh, I've got probably like 100 shows or something like people just keep recommending. Like, someone was talking about War on Waste the other day, and I was like, fuck, I meant to watch that. I totally forget about it.
Never even heard of it.
It's not even like a fictional show. Yeah, it was like the ABC's. It's the guy from The Chasers.
Yeah.
And he did it was called War on Waste. It was like a miniseries, I think. And I was like, I really wanted to watch that.
I've got a list of TV shows, and I write down what episode I'm up to in them. And there's so many that are like season 1, episode 2, season 1, episode 2. Like, even Buffy, I got to season 3, I think, and I was like, I'm loving Buffy. I want to keep watching it. And that was like 3 years ago. I just haven't. Got around to it.
Well, I think we've said it before on the podcast. A friend said it to me. She was like, I think you should always give a show 3 episodes before you decide if you like it or not. And I think that's quite a good barometer, I think.
Yeah.
Because if you think, if it's like a 20-minute show, like if you watch 3 episodes, that's like a movie then. I think. But sometimes it's, I don't know, it can be...
But if they're an hour-long show...
it is a bit of an undertaking.
My thing that I hate shows with like 20 episodes per season. It doesn't matter how long the episode is, I just hate that. I'm like, it's too much.
It is.
Every show ever should have like 10 episodes per season, like 8 to 12, you know?
A podcast I listened to, they were saying like, oh, I wish every movie was a show. He was like, when you just want like a more fleshed out world and they have more time to do it. And I was like, God, no, it's too much power for people. People just abuse it.
Yeah. Too much filler.
These like CW shows, they just
CW shows.
The characters never grow, because if they grow, then that's the end of the show.
They have to keep doing that. They have
to keep fucking up forever. Like, that's why they break up and get together and whatnot.
Have you seen the trailers for some of those new, like the Legends of Tomorrow's on like, I think season like 3 or 4?
That's the thing. You sit on any show. Like, there was a show I meant to watch forever ago called Shameless.
Shameless is great.
I supposedly, I've not seen it, because when I heard about it, when I got on, I was like, oh, I should watch the show. I think it was on season 3.
Yep.
And then like I checked back into it recently. It's on like season 9. Now, and I'm like, well, I'm just never gonna watch that show now. Like, if something has like more than 5 seasons, I'm like, it's daunting. It is like that. That's a lot. Like, I kind of like when shows get cancelled, because I know it has an end. It has an end. And I know that's probably like a controversial thing to say.
That's blasphemous. I don't like when shows get cancelled, but I do like when shows have an end in sight.
Dude,
like
Parks and Rec fucking ended at the top. Like, they could have went on for 12 seasons and they would have been shared and dragged out.
But they were like,
nah.
Episode
7.
7, yeah. And it was shorter as well. It was like just a wrap season. It was perfect.
Fucking so good, yeah.
And even stuff like Breaking Bad, I mean, like, that's like a pretty long, heavy show, like, in some ways. But they knew they were like 5 seasons and we're done. Yeah. Like, that was always
things that start out, with an arc, I think. Like, they have an idea of where these characters are meant to go, I think, are the best.
Like Supernatural is an example of what not to do. Because they were like, we'll have a 5-season show, and it'll just be like bang.
And
then they've done like 8 more seasons after that. They're up to like 13 or 14.
Or The Walking Dead. They just like write as they go.
Yeah.
There's no end in sight, and it's like you need like something to look forward to, I think, or something like. At least
it just needs.
For me,
I agree.
I never understood how popular that show was. I thought it was quite.
Yeah.
I think it had some phenomenal moments, but I think as a whole, I found it like kind of
boring.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, I mean, no, yeah. There was a funny picture. It was like every Walking Dead episode, and it's like really good opening, and then like nothing, something interesting happens, nothing, phenomenal ending that makes you want to watch the next episode.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, they do. Like,
it's just walking and talking.
They just sit around, and then in the last 5 minutes, it's like, oh shit, and then you have to watch the next episode, and then it's just rinse and repeat.
I've been thinking a lot lately about this sort of thing. I think every TV show and movie and basically every creative project should just have one sort of auteur who just like oversees it, like whether it's a movie or a franchise, or like Star Wars is a perfect example. Like there just should be one person who manages that team of writers or the team of directors or whatever, and who just sort of has some kind of vision, you know. Like if you're gonna make a trilogy and then you like write the first film, wait to see if people like it or not, and then write the second film. That's so insulting. We can tell that's what you're doing. Like it's just.
I don't know if we've said on the podcast, but we joked about that. Your book that you wrote, your series, and I said as a joke after watching like the last show, it's like I should read the first book that you wrote, and then I should just write the second book and just like I'll just take your characters in whatever fucking direction I want to take them, and then I'll give it back to you and see how it fits into book 3. I think that'd be just a phenomenal social experiment.
I would love you to do that.
I'm not a writer.
But how interesting would that be?
Yeah, someone would be like, man, the writing really falls off in book 2. Like, it's beautifully crafted one, and then I'm like, yeah, it's just shocking. It's like a 4-year-old wrote it.
No, I'm sure it would be great. That would be so much fun to read for me, though.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I have planned it. I've got, like, my books are going to be 5 books in the series. Done. Like, I've got the end in sight. It's all planned out. It's just like,
oh, that's funny.
Why doesn't Hollywood do that?
I mean, again, like, yeah, I think I would like a creative director, like an overseer.
Even Joss Whedon, he sort of had that role for a bit. And, like, I think that improved that first / second phase of Marvel, you know?
Just someone to come in and just, like, touch up some things here and there and make sure that it all kind of fits together quite well. You know? Yeah, I think that's a good thing to have. But, I mean, I guess there's the downside that they'll have too much power, I think. And I think you saw that with, like... maybe George Lucas with the prequels.
People always say that with the prequels. That's
no
a good
one,
example.
because he was like, no one wanted to say no to him.
Yeah, that was too much power.
Yeah.
I think there has to be a middle ground where there's someone overseeing and then there's a team around them that sort of can, I guess, veto some decisions or sort of work with him.
Hone the vision.
Hone them, yeah.
Be like, I like this idea, George. But this part, maybe not so much. Yeah.
That's why the original trilogy was so good, because he had the vision, but then there was like, you know, he didn't have full power.
I'm trying to think the way someone described it. It's like he's a good ideas man, but maybe not the best storyteller or something like that.
Well,
like
no one can do everything.
Exactly, yeah. And I think we're starting to see that a little bit with J.K. Rowling and the Fantastic Beasts. I think she's got too much power and she's just writing whatever.
I don't know who's in charge of those Fantastic Beasts, but that is
we'll get to that in a moment, maybe.
We're probably up to that. I mean, I don't have anything more to say about TV. We can go movies if you want.
I think I might smash out games really quickly. Yeah, I might just shout some things out. So, I think the major big games that came out this year, I didn't even play them all, but the big contenders I think were God of War PS4, Spider-Man PS4, Red Dead Redemption 2, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, Celeste, and Detroit Become Human. And I haven't played all of them. Like, I wish I played Spider-Man. I think if I played Spider-Man, that probably would have been my game of the year.
I probably would love Spider-Man. I haven't played any of those
Stan Lee's in it, which I think Darren mentioned on the other podcast. Yeah, it's like really cool. Detroit's really good. Spyro Trilogy came out. That's really good. And I really liked Batman Telltale Season 2. I thought that was phenomenal. Like the storytelling in that and the choices you make. And you kind of... Because you can approach... Basically, you have like a mission. You have to like talk to some dude, and you can go as either Bruce or Batman.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so it's like you can either beat the shit out of him, or you can kind of use your words and get him as a partner. Yeah, it's really cool. And Telltale, it's sad now because Telltale.
You like sold that to me just with that, and I had no idea this game even existed.
Season 1 is like a 6. Season 2 is like a 9, though. I think, in my opinion.
Yeah, wow.
The Joker he's such a unique take on the Joker.
Yeah.
I think my game of the year would probably be, and I've not even played that much of it, would be Red Dead Redemption 2. I barely touched it, but that game...
It looks fun.
Yeah, just the detail.
Yeah.
And I refuse to give it to God of War. I'm sorry. I think that is like the most overrated game of all time.
It's
like an 8 out of 10.
My game of the year is probably Super Smash Bros. Which is not out yet.
Oh, the new one?
The new one, yeah. That's the only game I'm gonna... I mean, I played Destiny 2.
Yeah.
So that's like... Well, it was pretty good.
Destiny 2 is a fun social game,
It's fun, yeah.
Man.
Other than that, the only thing else I've played is Overwatch and Contra 3, which came out in 1992.
Well, yeah. I mean, Spyro was 1998, and I replayed that.
Yeah.
And it was beautiful.
See, don't
it was a
judge
good
me.
remaster. Yeah. Okay.
For my old games.
Yeah, Smash Bros, man.
Can't wait.
I do wish Crash Bandicoot and Goku were in it. Or like Banjo-Kazooie or something
Banjo
like that.
might be. Apparently
Maybe.
there's still like 9 heroes.
There's some DLC
confirmed.
ones, I think 5.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Who knows?
Yeah.
Could happen.
That was games. I won't get too much into that. I just wanted to touch upon it real quick. God of War was fun. I just think it was overrated. I'll save my comments for another time when we go more in depth.
I'm not the person for a games podcast.
Fair enough. All right, let's jump into movies then.
All right. I mean, 2018 movies. I was underwhelmed.
Yeah.
I was because you asked
Better
me
or worse than last year though.
Oh God, what was last year?
Exactly, Last Jedi.
It was my movie of the year last year.
Yeah.
Because it was just like...
And Blade Runner for me.
Yeah.
You know how much I like that film.
Yeah. But at least there were a few things there that like I didn't see coming this year. Because I've just written out this list and I've got...
I feel like last year there was something for everybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if you're into sci-fi, like they had Blade Runner. If you're into horror, they had Get Out and It.
I thought Get Out was kind of underwhelming too, but maybe that... I think I was alone on that. It was okay. Maybe I had it hyped too much.
I loved it, but I do think like when it's been like Oscar nominated and stuff, I'm like, I don't know. I think it was a really awesome film.
Yeah.
And like, there's a lot of themes, and it was really fun. I think it might be like a slightly bit overrated, maybe.
Yeah.
I'm also a huge racist. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, that's really funny. Please don't cut that.
Ooh, yeah.
I don't want to critique it for that very reason, but I'm the themes aside, it was every horror movie we've ever seen. Like it was brain swapping. It was like something from like the 70s horror. Like
I think that was why it made it so fun though. Like I was like, oh, they're going this way with it. I was like, fuck yeah, the fucking transplanting brains.
It was so Cabin in the Woods.
It was like being John Malkovich. Like he's trapped in the upside down. I thought the visuals were so good. I thought
when
the
he
acting
was
was
sunk into the. Who was the mum? Because she
Catherine Keener.
She's good.
Brilliant.
Yeah,
she voices she's the bad guy in Incredibles 2.
That's right.
The whole time I was trying to figure out the voice. So yeah, Incredibles 2 came out this year as well.
Incredibles 2, yeah, and that was good, but not. I mean,
I really enjoyed it. I think we were talking about this before the podcast as well. Like.
There's no Incredibles 1.
No, I really don't think. I think Incredibles 1 was better, but I think this was a solid sequel. It's just, I mean, I've watched Incredibles 1 a bazillion times, and it's been out for a lot longer. But yeah, when I think of it, I think of so many things. And I think of Incredibles 2, and I can't really remember that much of it. Like...
The best parts of Incredibles 2, from memory, I mean, I'm just sort of... were the moments when they were a family and they weren't even fighting. Like, they were just in a room together. Yeah. Because I love seeing those characters again. And then and all the stuff with, like, the villain who was... mind controlling, I want to say.
Screenslaver. She was hypnotizing, which I like the visuals. I thought that was really creepy when Elastigirl goes into like his like bunker with all the screens and then he attacks her and stuff like that. It is a good movie. Okay,
it was good. It wasn't the same.
There was no big like set piece that really like blew you away. I think, like I said it before, my boy Dash got snubbed. He definitely drew the short straw in this one. In favor of, I think, Jack and there's the raccoon scene, which everybody likes. But I
don't like the raccoon scene.
It's too much.
The Incredibles was never... Like, it was not one of those Pixar films where there was, like, wacky animals.
I was just so, like... I was like, why are they picking on this raccoon? What did he do?
That was strange.
And it was just too much. Like, Jack has, like, 1,000 powers. I was like, this is too much. It's too much.
Yeah, it was a lot.
Yeah. But, no, I think we're Incredibles 2.
Do you want to do like a top 5 or bottom 5 or like a movies we wanted to watch and didn't? I mean, I've got so many here I want to talk about.
Yeah, we'll just quickly run through them then. So I think I said it before the podcast. Yeah, Incredibles 2 I think was really good in the quieter moments.
Yeah,
when they are just talking.
Yeah.
When Helen and Bob are just like by the hotel by the pool chatting, you're just like, these are just, it's real character. They just feel so real, and they just talk about
the dialogue
human
in
problems.
Incredibles is perfect.
And even because Incredibles was always, it was a bit more mature. Like it was like PG as opposed to G. So like they're like when Helen is talking to the evil business lady, I forgot her name, the bad guy. Like when they're like drinking cocktails and just chatting to like one another, like it's, I don't know, like about philosophy and like what it means to be a hero and stuff like that. Like,
and the first movie has moments
really
like
cool.
that too.
Mm.
And it was like, it's like a Watchmen for kids because it's that like
you
dystopian 80s.
You really nailed it. And again, something
that
I messed up though. I said the 40s. I meant the 80s, or like it all blends together. But no, I think I meant more sort of like 60s going or 70s going into the 80s.
Like you can almost imagine like Nixon or something coming into like The Incredibles 2 and being like, "Go get him, Mr. Incredible."
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't do a Nixon. Ocean's 8, not a good reboot.
Did you watch it?
Yes.
I thought it was okay.
Yeah. You know, Widows came out this year, and I watched that with a few other people, and I think that was a much better example of how to do like a heist film with like
a big female cast.
I want to say a big female cast. Yeah, it was not like this is the female version of a good film that came out 10 years ago. It was like, no, it's just a good film with female leads. I thought Widows was pretty clever.
Like, it's so stupid. Like the arguments on both sides, sort of thing. Like, like when they announce like an all-female lead, and you have the like internet people be like, we're meant to be for diversity, and now you're getting rid of like half of like the human race. Like it's only females and stuff like that. I'm like, you fucking moron. Like diversity means everything. I want a film with a mixed cast. I want a film with all females. I want a film with all males. I want a film with all old people or young people. I don't care. I don't give a fuck. Make whatever the fuck you want. Just make it like, good. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, and I went into Ocean's 8 pretty optimistically, and I think there's some fun scenes, but they just could have done so much more with it. Like,
I was so underwhelmed.
I really was too. Like, like they could have. Where I think Blade Runner took that name and just made their own thing, and it barely connects to the first one. Yeah. Ocean's 8, it's like they didn't do the extra mile. They literally just made the first one with that. Like it starts the same way with her in prison, just like George Clooney.
It does.
And while watching it,
which was weird.
Yeah. Well, and he's dead apparently.
The first 10 minutes of that film, I was like, really? I'm watching this again? And she's even like, oh, my brother, and I'm like.
I mean, and don't get me wrong, I love Sandra Bullock. I love Sandra Bullock.
I love her.
I'd love to see her in the MCU, actually. Yeah. Hashtag Sandra Bullock in the MCU. But
I'd love to see her in an all-female heist film that was just original.
Yeah. Well, it's funny.
She was born to play that role. It was just the script like let her down. I mean,
and I thought that the heist was very simple as well.
Yeah.
And I was like, so like. Women can only do like a really simple heist. Like I feel like I had like 2 steps to it. I don't know. I might have been looking too much into it. But even while watching it though, there was a part where I was like, in Ocean's 11, this is about the time where there's a twist. Sure enough, there's a twist.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, it wasn't what you thought it was. Blah 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 blah.
I don't know if I was watching it with you or someone else, but whoever I was watching it with leaned over and they were like. Because there's all those other jewels in the other room, and they're like, oh, I bet they steal those as well or something. And I remember thinking like, I was almost disappointed. I was like, because I didn't pick that. I mean, I was like, you're probably right, but I wanted it to be smarter than that. Like, I mean, that's too obvious. Like,
I thought it was. I thought it was really sort of obvious as well.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, these beautiful, talented, awesome actresses just deserved a way better film.
Yeah.
They really did. Shout out to, I can't remember her name, the Asian actress that's in that film. I thought she was the best character about that film.
I think.
And she was in a film I just thought of Crazy Rich Asians. That was a good movie. That was a fucking awesome movie.
Yeah, it's funny. A lot of people have said that's really
underrated?
Underwhelming. A lot of people don't like it. They're like, oh, it's just another, like... And I guess it was another rom-com, but I had heaps of fun watching it.
Yeah, I just think it was a good film, yeah.
The soundtrack was great.
I liked it.
The acting was pretty good.
Yeah. No, I really enjoyed that one.
Yeah, I thought Crazy Rich Asians was fun.
It's funny, with Ocean's 8, I remember watching it with my girlfriend at the time, because she was so keen for it. And I was like, ooh, I'm not enjoying this movie. And then I was like,
How do I
was
say
like,
this without saying I hate women?
Exactly. I was like, does this make me a sexist? And then she leaned over to me and she's like, yeah, this isn't good. And I was like, justified. Like, but yeah.
What else is on the list? Quiet Place.
That was a good movie.
Great movie.
That's
up there for my top of... I will get into this in a minute, but that's one of my top 5.
It might be mine as well. Ooh, Game Night.
Game Night.
I can't believe I didn't write that down.
I had that written down.
That's really good. Game Night was phenomenal.
Game Night's so much fun.
So good.
Little drags on a little bit, like there's like a twist and then a reverse twist and another reverse twist at the end, but it was fun.
I wanted to make the meme of Justin Timberlake saying, "A twist isn't cool anymore. You know what is cool? 5 twists." Because I feel like that's every fucking movie now. It's like they just have to do like a double switcheroo on you, like.
And then another switcheroo, and then it was a good film though.
Yeah.
Like, it was just, I don't want to say old-fashioned funny, but there was just, like, there were jokes in there that I hadn't really seen before, you know? Wasn't just the same jokes again and again. And Jason Bateman's always good like that.
And who's the actor that was the cop neighbor who was, like, recently divorced? He needs to win a fucking Oscar for that role. He was incredible.
He is a really funny guy.
Don't we all enjoy the camaraderie of friendship? Or whatever he says. He's so weird. Fuck. He was the guy from Breaking Bad.
He was the guy from Breaking Bad, yeah. I don't know what his name is, but he's funny as.
Shout out to that guy, yeah.
Jason Bateman with a little dog, and then it gets like blood on it or whatever. I mean, I was crying. I was like wet myself. Too. It was so funny.
It was so good to see Rachel McAdams in such a fun role. I feel like she plays, and I love Rachel McAdams, but I feel like she plays a lot of the same roles. She plays it quite safe as an actress, but it was like she was like just giving it her all and having a fun time. And
it felt good to see her smile, because she's always like that sad love interest.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. But this, she was just like...
She was just her own character who just like was cool and like...
The guy's like, she's like, I have kids. He's like, with that ass? No, you don't. She's like, thank you. She's so good.
And when he's like, someone needs to pour vodka on me or something because like he's been shot. He's like, pour alcohol on me. She's like, I got Chardonnay. Like $8 Chardonnay from like the... So funny. So good. I want to watch that again now, actually. I know.
Oh, I just had here... Sorry, good.
Yeah.
I watched Big Little Lies. It's a TV show. I don't know if that came out this year, but that show was phenomenal.
Book was better.
There you go.
I'm just going to be that guy.
Book was better. Ready Player One.
Ready Player One. Book was heaps better. And we both read that.
Yeah.
And the movie was...
I read a book this year. Yeah. The book was really fun.
The movie was okay. Like there were things that happened in the book that I think wouldn't have translated well to the movie.
The movie, I think, it was okay. It definitely has a sequence in it that I think everyone agrees is like phenomenal, which is, I think we can spoil it. The Shining scene.
Oh, the Shining scene.
Where they go into that.
Yeah.
Like, whatever combination of old footage versus like whatever they recreated digitally, and the way they put the characters in, they added like a film grain over it, like, That was impressive on like a technical level. I think.
It was a fun film to watch. Like it was spectacular visually.
Yeah.
But and who's the bad guy? Ben Mendelsohn, is it?
He's been typecasted, poor dude. I mean, Rogue One, he's like, this is my accomplishment, and then like Ready Player One, he's like, I want this to be my accomplishment, and now he's the bad guy, Robin Hood. And he's like, my gold. My gold. He's like Alan Rickman, he's just the bad guy now. And I was like, oh, poor like Ben Mendelsohn.
He is an amazing actor.
Yeah, there was a trailer on Netflix of some Netflix movie, and he played he was like a dad, and I couldn't take it seriously because he's just my accomplishment.
Is that the one with the 2 sons? Maybe?
I'm not sure. I can't remember.
Yeah, I think I might have seen that.
Did you see Death of Stalin?
No, it's on my list. It was one of the ones I really wanted to watch. I think
I
would have loved it.
I don't think I was smart enough or knew my history enough to enjoy it, but it was very
it's all that like Russian Revolution stuff. Isn't it?
But the way it's shot, it's almost like a play kind of thing. There's just a lot of actors just bouncing off each other and reacting, and
it's a great cast too.
It is. It's a pretty fun movie, and they're all just despicable people.
It looks like a Coen Brothers sort of.
It is.
Yeah. You know what I mean.
There was a lot of films this year that were like, I thought were Coen Brother films, and they weren't.
Ballad of Buster Scruggs.
Yeah, or Bad Times at the El Royale. I was like, I thought that was a Coen Brother movie until
it was like a weird Coen, like Tarantino sort of film.
I guess we've hit that point now where people are now influenced by Coen Brothers making movies.
They're influenced by people who are still alive making those films.
Yeah.
Leave them alone. They were already doing... I wanted to watch Death of Stalin, I should have. And I will, but I haven't yet. Mandy, I haven't seen.
Ooh. I just saw a trailer for that. Yes, that's meant to be really good.
Nicolas Cage, like Return to Glory.
He's been doing quite a bit this year. He was Superman in Teen Titans Go, which is brilliant because he was going to play Superman way back in the day.
Whatever.
And he's also, I think, in Into the Spider-Verse, which comes out in like 2 weeks.
Really?
Yeah, he's like one of the other spider people from another universe.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So he's doing some voice acting stuff. There's a few things. Yeah, Wreck-It Ralph 2 hasn't come out yet. I've not seen. There's a movie called Sorry to Bother You that's meant to be incredible that I want to see.
Well, I should have seen that, yeah.
Jurassic World 2, surprisingly fun and really good.
I loved that. I thought that was the best Jurassic Park movie since Jurassic Park.
It's funny because, it starts as one film and then becomes another film.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right. I was like, here we go. This is
like
awesome.
half an hour in and you're like, whoa. You're like, and then this is the rest of the film. Yes.
Yeah. I think Bryce Dallas Howard is fantastic, and I think she's like at her best. I don't know. She's just
seriously, this film, like you could watch Jurassic Park and then watch Jurassic World 2, and seamless, almost blending. Like just ignore the other three that are in the middle.
What you got?
Love, Simon?
Didn't see it. I heard it was good.
Yeah, I read the book and then watched the film, and I thought that was great. Yeah, it was just like a good film without trying to do things that it didn't need to do. You know, it was just great film, really good. Yeah.
Okay, because I think we talked about this before. There was all these coming of age stories like films, and I feel like every single one it's the same hubbub. It's like this is the one that's the best one. This redefines coming of age films. This one gets it. This one understands what it means to be a child or a teenager going through all this stuff. And everyone I see, I'm like they're good, but they're not like
8th Grade is the one that comes to mind.
I really want to see that one. People rave about it.
Yeah, because it's Bo Burnham, who you might know is a comedian. You might recognize some of his stuff on YouTube.
Yeah, I think
he is very funny and very clever. But 8th Grade is like all right. Like it taps into that YouTube generation because it's all about like a kid.
That's interesting.
It's a coming of age film, but she's like a streamer and sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And it's all right, but it was not that fresh and original.
Because the one I remember that got so much buzz was Age of 17, and I watched that and I was like, that did nothing for me.
Yeah, same.
You know what I really liked was Easy A. I thought that was way more fun.
Yeah, Easy A is a great film.
Yeah.
That was a great film.
The girl in Age of 17, she's in Bumblebee, Transformers spin-off, which is coming out this year. I had no idea that was coming out this year. And I feel like no one's going to see that movie. And you know what? It's probably going to be amazing. It's someone who understands Transformers. They're not just metal filings moving around.
Who's making it?
I don't know, some dude. Michael Bay's not involved.
I mean, that does fill me with hope.
Yeah.
But it's also John Cena.
I love John Cena. What's wrong with John Cena?
No, it's just weird. Like they went from Shia LaBeouf to
he's
Mark
Wahlberg. He's not the main dude though. He's playing like an army dude, which I think makes sense because he's buff as shit.
Who's the main dude then? The girl.
It's the girl. It's Haley Steinfeld. I want to say her name is.
I think that's right.
Yeah.
She's pretty cute, isn't she?
Yeah. She's.
And John Cena's the army dude.
I think he might be like the villain, to be honest. Or an antagonist. It just feels like it's 10 years too late. Like the Transformers buzz is like.
It's like there's been 5 of those films, and each one's been worse than the last.
Exactly.
And now they're doing an origin
that's
film.
Now they understand. Now they've got someone who understands Transformers and could probably make a good film. But now it's the name's been sullied. I think. I feel that way a little bit with Logan. As good as Logan is, a part of me was like, "Hooray! You did it! It took you 10 years and 10 films and 9 iterations of Wolverine, but you finally did it."
Whoop!
Yeah, I was like, well done. And I was like, but yeah, there was Wolverine fatigue by that point.
Yeah.
But anywho.
Which is a shame for Hugh Jackman, because yeah, but anyway. At least it ended on a high.
He can do whatever he wants.
Yeah.
No, it did. It ended on a high. I'm glad about that.
Superhero films, Venom.
Oh, far out. I forgot about Venom.
That's one of my highlights of the year.
Really?
That's probably in my top 5.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean...
It was so much fun.
That experience is probably one of the most fun experiences I've had in a cinema.
And all the critics were like, this looks terrible. And I watched the trailer and I was like, it does look terrible.
It looked awful, yeah.
And then I watched the movie and I was like, blown away by how much fun I had.
Yeah, how much better it was. And even the scenes that I hated were much better in context, I think, of the film.
Yeah, definitely. Even the finale, I mean, it was so predictable with the
You said it
good
best.
Venom versus anti-Venom or whatever.
That was a bit, not the best. And even the end credits scene with like the third, and it's Woody Harrelson. You said it the best. He looked like Ronald McDonald.
The red wig thing. It was so strange.
That was weird.
But that aside, I mean, Venom is one of my top 5 films of the year, I think.
I guess superhero films. Deadpool 2, I fucking hated. Fight me, I don't care. I really just did not enjoy that film.
You make really good points about why it's not good, and we don't have to go into it again, but...
it's not creative, it's not funny, it's just dick jokes and whatnot, except for the part where he travels back in time, which should have been the whole fucking movie.
Yeah, you nailed it with that. They had time travel and Deadpool Cable.
And they didn't do a fucking thing with it. And then, again, it's my problem when they call things out, but they still don't fix the problem. Deadpool's it's when... CGI fucking Colossus and CGI Juggernaut fight, and Deadpool's like, oh, big CGI fight, here we go. And I'm like, yeah, but you still did it. You still spent like half your budget fucking making these animators animate. Nobody wants this. No one wants a big CGI fight.
Especially with those two characters.
It looked shitty.
It was shitty.
It looked so bad, that CGI.
You know what would have been so much funnier is if like halfway through that CGI fight, they like ran out of budget and they just the guys in green suits like punching each other.
See, that creativity right there is what I wanted from Deadpool. If the budget if he got a chord, it's like, hey, you're out of budget, no CGI fight. He's like, dang. And he's like, guys, sorry. And then, it's like two dudes in the green screen suits.
On stilts.
That's fucking brilliant. See, that right there is funnier than anything that was in Deadpool 2. My God.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't mind Deadpool 2. I laughed. But the more you and I
talk
about
the Holy Grail where they're fighting that monster and the writer gets a heart attack?
Yeah.
I wanted that level of stuff. I wanted that fourth wall
Deadpool
breaking.
has not been on the same level as Monty Python, and it should have been.
It should be.
It's the only Marvel film that has the potential to go to those heights, and it didn't. Yeah, and it's disappointing on that level.
And to be clear, because some people will probably get mad at me and be like, "Oh, you just don't read the." You don't. I haven't read a Deadpool comic, so I guess
I've read a few.
I don't understand the character, but from a funny point of view and an imaginative point of view, it could have been so much more.
I think so.
And it was just crude. But yeah, going back to the South Park, it could have been crude and smart at the same time, but
didn't quite get there.
Yeah, but I like Ryan Reynolds a lot.
Yeah, I do too. But he couldn't save it. I mean, I don't know. There's so much of weird.
And look at that New Zealand boy from Hunt for the Wilder People, and I was really excited about that. But then they gave him this moody, dramatic teenager. You're like, oh, that's not what I wanted from this kid. You wanted him to be funny and because
he's a brilliant actor. He's so
great.
Dry, and funny.
But they made him really overly dramatic and oh God.
So that was a bit of a yeah.
But I will say, I fucking lost my shit when he travels back in time and kills the other Deadpool and kills Ryan Reynolds as well. Yeah. I mean, again, I was like, I wish I just walked in at that scene because that was the best part.
It was a short. That could have been a short film on its own. That was so funny. What else have we got?
Well, there's all the Marvel ones: Black Panther, Avengers: Infinity War, Ant-Man and the Wasp.
And Infinity War, I mean, is everyone's one of the top favorite films. Black Panther was pretty good. You know, if you like Lion King.
It's funny. I have no desire to watch that again. I'm like, oh yeah, Black Panther. But yeah, I watched it 3 times and couldn't stop raving about it when I saw it in the moment. But
maybe because you watched it 3 times.
Maybe I
that's enough for a year, dude.
Yeah,
that's enough for.
I saw Infinity War 4 times. I love that movie.
Yeah, I could watch that again. And even now, talking about, that's a better film.
I thought it was funnier than Deadpool. I thought it was way more creative.
Yeah,
I thought it was more creative than Harry Potter. When Thanos is fighting Doctor Strange, he throws a black hole at him, and then he mirror dimensions it, and then smashes it and turns into butterflies. And
the things they've done with those characters,
and the way the stone, you can see the stones as he's using them. That I was like, that is such a brilliant aesthetic choice.
Yeah.
And it's so interesting. I think I pointed it out to someone when we were watching it again. When Doctor Strange splits himself into all the different versions. Yep. And Thanos, you think he does the Power Stone? He actually uses the Soul Stone to figure out which is the right one, which one has a soul. Because all the other ones are just copies.
Illusions.
And illusions. Yeah. And I was like, oh, fuck. The Russo brothers, man.
They're clever, eh?
Oh.
They understand those characters on a level that no one else does.
Just, I think in terms of just action sequences, though, visually, they just know how to do it. It's not just punching. They just know how to, oh, man. Can't say enough good things. Did you see Isle of Dogs?
Yes.
That was good.
Yeah, I like Wes Anderson.
Did you see Mission Impossible 6?
Yes, I watched it with you, didn't I?
Yeah, maybe not, but we talked about it. Yeah, that movie was good.
Yeah, we talked about it on the podcast. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bohemian Rhapsody.
Very good.
Very good.
Very, very good.
Sicario 2, I meant to watch and didn't.
I didn't see that. The Meg, the big shark one. That was fun.
I saw that. That was fun. Yeah. That was better than I thought it'd be.
I can't even read my own writing. What does it
Can we
say?
spoil that film now? I mean, it's been out for a while. We could do spoilers.
Yeah.
It's like, if you don't want to see spoilers for Meg, pause now or skip a few minutes. But
I don't think you'll really care. But yeah.
What's, Jaws. Like, it was like Jaws in a few ways, I guess.
Yeah.
But then, like, they killed the shark and you were like, there's still half an hour left. And I was like, oh, cool.
There's a Family Guy sketch called Bigger Jaws, and that's exactly what that movie was. Because, like, they kill the shark, and then there's a bigger shark. And I really wanted the ending to have an even bigger shark.
Oh, there's, like, 5 books that's based on. There's, like, a whole series of, like, a giant octopus, I think, comes into it. And then, like... Anyway, what else is there?
Black Klansman, I think, is probably in my top 5 favourite films.
I haven't put it in my top 5.
I thought that was incredible. Stylistically, acting-wise, it did tension really well.
Yeah.
And just some of the actors, like Topher Grace as the head
Daniel,
head wizard or whatever.
Name?
You could tell he was just having a ball, just like it's and just when they do the phone calls to him and he's pretending to be, he's like, oh, this is
yeah.
I said this as a joke because Eddie Murphy, his comedy stand-ups, he does his like white guy voice.
Yeah.
And I was like, but as this movie started, I'm like, hey, he kind of sounds like when Eddie Murphy does his white guy voice. And then I didn't realize that was like a part of the plot because he says that to the chief. He's like, I can talk jive and I can also talk white, like white city boy. Yeah. He's like, oh, hello, sir. Yes, I want to join the Ku Klux Klan and I hate Mexicans and I hate black people and all that. And then he's like, looking forward to see. Oh, it's the bit. It's after the first phone call. And then Adam Driver, who's fantastic. Adam Driver's like, did you just use your real name? And he's like, oh, fuck. And then I laughed so hard. Oh, my God.
That was
He's like, good luck with your redneck friends.
But Topher Grace as a villain is the funniest thing.
I know.
Because, like, you remember him
Speaking about Venom, yeah.
Yeah, Venom, yeah, exactly. Or even the Predators one.
Yes. Far out. And that came out, The Predator came out this year, and that was a really good movie.
Yeah. But he's so funny.
Yeah, I like Topher Grace.
It's weird, isn't it? I didn't make that connection. He's like connected to everything this year.
Did you see Searching?
Never even heard of Searching.
Neither did I until I got asked to go see it. It was John Cho, protagonist.
Oh, that was, I know. It's the one.
It's the one. It's all. Yeah, he's trying to find his missing daughter, but it's all shot through like Skype calls.
Yeah.
And and it's impressive from that. I was like, wow, this is really cool. Yeah, like it's all.
I didn't see it.
Him
was it
like.
good?
Yeah, it was.
That's like
it wasn't
the third
amazing.
or fourth film with that concept
solid.
now.
I think, this was like they tried to make it like a really like decent film. Yeah, and I think there's some strong performances. And yeah, it's a fun movie. It's a little anticlimactic, I think, because by the end of it, you're kind of like, well, there's really only one person the villain can be. So you sort of see the twist kind of coming, I think.
Is it him?
No.
I should watch the film.
Yeah.
To All the Boys I've Loved Before.
What's that?
It's one of about 8 shitty Netflix films that came out this year. But
you and I are on the same wavelength. You and I are on the same wavelength because I was just about to name a Netflix movie as well.
Which one?
Outlaw King.
Oh.
About Robert the Bruce.
Robert the Bruce.
And it's Chris Pine. That's a good movie, actually.
Yeah, I wanted to watch that. Yeah. I still will.
It's not bad.
No, I'm talking about those rom-coms they do, like the teen ones.
Dude,
like...
did Set It Up come out this year? Set It Up is so fun and so cute. It is cute. It is a beautiful film. And it's got Lucy Liu. Whoever the lead actress in that movie is, I've forgotten her name. I was like instantly like in love with her. And the guy's really charming too. It's just, it's a fun, cute movie.
It's funny because like...
It's where they try to set up their bosses.
The bosses, yeah. Fuck. It's funny because every time one of these sort of Netflix films comes out, everyone's like, this is the cutest, best rom-com ever. And then like a month later, the next one comes out and they're like, 10 reasons why this one's better than that one.
Yeah.
There was The Kissing Booth, which was so dumb. I don't know why I even watched them. Yeah.
You do that, yeah. I'm like, hey, do you want to watch like this amazing piece of cinema? You're like, no, I'm watching The Kissing Booth. I'm like, have fun with that then.
Yeah, it's what I do when I'm like on a Saturday night and I don't have work the next day. And
I think
like
it's
6 drinks.
I think we said it. Yeah. It's important to watch, I think, the bad movies to appreciate the good movies.
I think you're going to learn from them. You know, you learn what not to do.
The only last... did you have any more? Because I only have one last
we've mentioned Upgrade, or... Did we mention Solo? Not that we really need to.
We touched on it a little bit. We said it was like Treasure Planet.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Enjoyable, but forgettable.
Nowhere, not even in the top 6 Star Wars films, let alone the top 6 2018 films.
There's people that are defending it like, oh no, it was really good. And I'm like, there's one scene alone that makes it just horrendous. And it's when he's at the fucking space customs. And he's like, what's your name? And he's like, my name's Han. And he's like, what's your last name? And he's like, I don't have a last name. And he's like, oh, I guess I'll just call you Han Solo. And I just want like that Seinfeld tune to play, like, yeah, like it was like, I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
You know what I was thinking?
Are you fucking kidding me, Sean? If you were in Space Customs and someone gave you the last day, they called you, oh, you're by yourself. I guess we'll call you Sean by yourself. Would you then take that name, keep it forever, and pass it on to your son? This fucking name that some random at Space Customs gave you.
Look, that actually is...
What a fucking joke.
That is how I got my last name.
Oh my god.
I was going through customs and they were like, oh, you're a male?
Sean Guy, yeah. Jack Person, yeah.
Jack Person.
Oh, what a joke.
When I was watching that film, when I was watching Crimes of Grindelwald, and at the end of the film, they're like, you're Albus Dumbledore's brother. I was like, oh. It reminded me of the end scene of like Star Wars when they were like, and here's Darth Maul. I was like, this is desperate, man. This is why we need people with a vision to make films, because otherwise you get stuck with this shit where you like millions and millions and millions of dollars go into this film, and then they're just like, well, what if we're going to make another one? And they're like, whoa, put in a stupid reference that no one will see coming.
I don't care what anyone says. That Darth Maul reference, that was trash.
Yeah, it was trash.
People were like, oh, it's the best thing. I was like, he didn't do anything. He sat down. He just sat there. And he looked shit. I don't care what people say.
It's worse than he
looked worse than he looked in Phantom Menace.
He stood up and then did the lightsaber thing. Like, through a hologram. That's not threatening. Ugh. That was the worst cameo I've ever seen.
I will say, not to be all negative, I did think Chewbacca was tremendous in it.
It should have been called the Chewbacca movie.
Even just little things where like Han just like shows him his cards and he's like, and you're like, oh man, yeah, I know, yeah, I'm with you, buddy. like yeah, he's so good.
After The Last Jedi, where he was playing like
together, yeah.
But after The Last Jedi, where he just plays Rey's buddy chauffeur, and then he's an actual character in Solo, I was like, this is what it should have been all along. Yeah. Like, he was scary, you know? Mm. So, I mean, he was the highlight of 2018, maybe.
Yeah. And I do think that, what's-his-face, Alden Ehrenreich, I think he did a fine. I think he did a good job, yeah. Like, it
was just so predictable, like... What's his name?
You could definitely tell that, they were, like... setting up more. Like, nothing was sort of like he wasn't the Solo where his character
it wasn't
ended.
A Solo film.
There's a lot of levels to that. No, it's like his character arc felt incomplete. Like, he wasn't the Solo that we see in New Hope.
Yeah.
And it was sort of starting to set up all these things, and that's when you sort of heard like, oh yeah, we kind of had planned it to be a trilogy, but we didn't expect it to bomb in the cinema. Every other Star Wars film has made like $1 billion. I think Solo made something like 300 million.
I think that's what I heard.
Like, oh my god, no one saw it.
It's embarrassing.
Even when we went, I feel like there was like 2 people in the cinema, like from memory.
Yeah, probably. I can't remember. I can barely remember going to that film.
Anyway, I don't want to run too long, so we might wrap up.
Let's wrap it up.
The only thing I've got left is Crimes of Grindelwald, the Harry Potter one,
which I can't say enough bad things about, which you kind of liked. I'm sorry, I just hated it.
It's funny because I came out of it like, hey, pretty good, and then I go online, everyone's like, like everyone's freaking out.
But even
about
the Harry Potter fans, actually, the Harry Potter fans are the ones who hate it the most. It's their Star Wars.
It's so funny. It is. That's what I said to you. I was like, Crimes of Grindelwald is the Last Jedi of Harry Potter, and it's so funny to see like Star Wars fans that grew up with the original trilogy then react to the prequels and be like, George Lucas ruined Star Wars. And now Harry Potter fans are like, J.K. Rowling's ruining Harry Potter. It's just funny because, you're a Harry Potter fan that you know.
I know
hardcore
a few,
fan. Well, I know a couple as well, but you know the one I'm talking about. She hated it.
Yeah.
I went with a fan, very hardcore fan, Actually, I can say her name because I was going to thank her later. Amy Joyce. She really liked it. She enjoyed it thoroughly, and I did too. I mean, I wasn't big about the first one, so I didn't have a lot of expectations for this one. But I had fun with it.
I thought it got worse.
The word "it's a mess" gets thrown around, and I was just like, it didn't seem any less of a mess than any other big blockbuster to me.
I don't think it was anywhere near as messy as Infinity War.
True, but like people are like, oh, it's got too many characters, and I'm like, did you see Infinity War?
Yeah, but that's what I mean. It had they didn't balance their 6 characters as well as Infinity War balanced their 13.
Yeah. I was trying to find the article. Yeah, it was called "The Crimes Again" or "The Crimes of Grindelwald," and it was all these like critiques. I think there was like 10 major critiques, and I wanted to find it because I wanted to rebuttal them, but we're sort of running out of time, and I couldn't find the article. But there was just some stuff that I was like. And it's so funny because
it's so funny because how we judge other films.
It's funny because I'm defending it, and I was sort of lukewarm with the film. Like I enjoyed it. I'm like, yeah, it was like a 6 or 7.
Because I hate it, you have to like it.
Exactly, best film ever. Number 1, yeah, better than Infinity War. Crimes of Grindelwald.
One little anecdote for that: I had one of my customers at work, because I work at a bookshop. For anyone who doesn't know, came into work to buy the screenplay of The Crimes of Grindelwald, because they sell screenplays because they can't do books, right?
I saw that, yeah.
So she buys this. She's a big Harry Potter fan. And I was like, oh, have you seen the movie or are you keen to? And she's like, no, I'm not watching the film. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. She's a big fan. She bought the book, day one, the script day one. And she's like, I've already read this online, or she had an advanced copy or something. And she was like, it is shit. And I was like, oh, really? And she's like, yeah, I hated the script so much, I'm not going to watch the film. I'm only buying it, so it's part of my collection. I just thought that was so funny. Such a Harry Potter fan thing to do.
Begrudgingly Harry Potter fan. I mean, I get it. The collector in me is like that. Like if I was to get all the James Bonds, I would get all of them,
Yeah, same.
I had a friend who didn't want to get... He had all the Community seasons except 4. Because that wasn't Dan Harmon. That was
you almost have to buy it for him, don't you? You just
kind of. I was
1, 2, 3, 5.
Yeah, he was like, oh no, I'm not buying that one. I'm like, I would buy it, just to have the whole collection. Like, I don't know. Even though, it would probably just gather dust and take up space.
It's why I can't watch TV anymore, I guess. Because now if I start a show, even no matter how much I hate it, I'm like, I'm up to season 1, episode 3, and I will watch the rest sometime in the next 80 years.
Well, there was a show I watched this year again on Netflix, was Mad Men. I just started watching that again, and I was like, fuck, this is a good show.
I should watch that. I think I'd like that. I want to watch West Wing again. I should watch
Westworld again. I didn't watch season 2.
Westworld 1.
Season 2 was really polarizing this year.
Yeah, everyone hated it. I didn't get to it.
I didn't get to it either.
Even though I liked season 1. But it was kind of messy as well.
It's just funny with the Fantastic Beasts one. Like, there was a lot of stuff I really enjoyed. I think I might have enjoyed it more than the first one, to be honest. Man, but I agree. Like, it felt like J.K. Rowling, after the first one, she was like, I don't know if I do like where I took those characters. I'm going to change it all. Because, it was like a big... I really like the Jacob character as the Muggle, because we've never seen a Muggle main character. Yeah. I thought that was so cool. It was so different.
And he was all of us, wasn't he?
Yeah, because he could react to everything. And I was like,
yes, so do
He was like the Sokka from Last Airbender. Like, he doesn't have any waterbending powers, but he tries his best, damn it. And I just thought that was really cool to see that in Harry Potter. And he gets obliviated at the end of the first one, which was a big point. And this one, they just kind of just change it immediately. He's like, oh, it didn't work, and Queenie helped me out.
It's the same with that Credence guy, because he was supposed to be killed, wasn't he?
Dead. It's surprise he's alive.
They were just surprise. I was like, okay.
But I was like, it just didn't bother me as much. I related it to that scene where he's like, oh, the Obliviate just didn't work. I remember after Thor came out, and the big moment in that film was they destroy the Rainbow Bridge. And then you see him in Avengers on Earth, and you're like... Because Loki, the end of that, so he's like, if you destroy the bridge, you'll never see it again. And then literally the Avengers trailer came out the next day, and he's on Earth. You're like, And then it's literally one line. He's like, how much dark magic did the All-Father have to send you here? And I was like, wowee. So I was like, there's little things like that. But I mean, Avengers is a better film. So it's funny if you're a good film, you can get away with a lot more. I think. You can.
And Crimes of Grindelwald was not a good film.
I suppose. But yeah, people were mad that Queenie joined his dark side.
No, I liked...
the first scene, she's got him under a fucking roofie trance. And I was like, from the get-go, I'm like, she's crazy. That is clear to me. She's crazy.
I don't remember enough of the first film, so I don't know if that character arc really made sense. But I did like that one of the villains joined the bad guy. I mean, one of the heroes joined the villain.
Yeah, it made sense.
It was an interesting character sort of plot development.
That's the thing. I feel like it's setting up a much better movie, but then if she keeps retconning it every movie, then we're never going to get that movie, you know what I mean? Like, the first one was probably setting up a good film, and then she was like, oh, I'll change it now, this one. But, it's just
strange.
People that were annoyed with, like, the new stuff that was invented just frustrates the shit out of me. I'm like, yeah, what did you want? Did you want a predictable movie where you knew everything and every spell? Like, don't you want new lore? Don't you want to learn new things about the Harry Potter universe? But she makes up something new, and people are like, what? Where has this been the whole time? That's how I felt about the fucking Deathly Hallows, alright? Where the fuck were they the first 6 books? And then in book 7, it's a Deathly Hallows. Oh, your invisibility cloak is actually a Deathly Hallow. Like, have you ever seen anyone else with an invisibility cloak? Fuck me. Harry Potter fans, fucking get your shit together.
That fandom is just crumbling around itself.
Oh, I love it. I love it so much. Because, like, I don't know, it's just funny to see them just
It's a shame, though, because I think...
It's a little bit. As soon as they cast Johnny Depp, it was all downhill from that. And
really
because all the crimes in that article, I was sort of rebutting, and then the final one was like, Johnny Depp's in it, and I was like, yes, that's the big one, isn't it?
And that's a
like,
genuine...
That is a genuine. I'm not trying to be... I shouldn't be smiling. Like that...
In fact, how can he even be in that film? Isn't he supposed to be busy with the Dark Universe?
Oh. Actually, it's funny because I can eat my words. It's probably on the podcast, and I'm a bit of a hypocrite because I think I said I wasn't going to support Johnny Depp and I wasn't going to see the new one because I was annoyed that he was in the first one. There was a twist. They tricked me into watching a Johnny Depp film, and I went, no, like I didn't sign up for this. And then the second one, I don't know. I just sort of I was like, I wanted to see how bad it was, and I went and saw it. And it's funny because they stood up for him. They were like, no, we're glad we have Johnny Depp. He did nothing with that role.
He was just Johnny Depp.
He didn't do anything really good with it. They could have got anyone to play that role.
Yeah, it was all in the makeup, like they just made him look...
He didn't... Yeah, he was like pretty bland as a villain. Like he didn't... I don't know. There was some menacing scenes. I like the opening where he's like the kidnapping.
Even that was kind of like... Was it supposed to be Polyjuice Potion or something? Like, how did it happen? I mean... It was all kind of like... It wasn't a clever breakout. I don't know. I just... No part of that film really entranced me. In fact, the climactic scene was one of my least favourite, because it was just like...
Which one?
The magic fire thing, and then they all had to, like... The power of friendship to, like, their own blue magic fire. Like, it was not a spell, It was not a clever trick
though.
thing.
I was talking about this with someone else. It's hard to get my point across. It's hard to get my point across. But
Can you imagine acting that scene? Eddie Redmayne would have been just like standing on the floor, like ah.
Yeah.
And then they added it all in post. I mean, I guess that's acting.
Suppose.
But it's just
the
so
thing
strange.
I didn't like about the first one is well, I don't like that there's a killing spell. Avada Kedavra, you're dead. It takes the nuance out of like dueling. It's just like a gun in that point. And even in Fantastic Beasts, where there's the big Obscurus, is that what it's called? The big black smoke monster? And all the wizards are like, pew, 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 like just like standing there firing spells out. They're all just fire. I'm like, how is this any different from like a Tommy gun? You know what I mean? I was like, it lacks like creativity. So it's like, I like when there's dueling. And I thought this one had a lot more of that. Like when they slammed their wands into the ground to make that force field, I thought that was fucking cool.
Did you?
And I like how... Because in Harry Potter, they're all kids. The wand, I guess, feels quite foreign to them in their hands. Whereas these are older, experienced wizards, and the wand is an extension of themselves. And they're all Harry Potter nerds, like Eddie Redmayne and Ezra Miller. And you see the way they handle their wands. Like Eddie Redmayne's kind of like he's like like little flicks, whereas some people are more like grandiose with their like flicks. And I think you can just like speak to the character so much. I think. Like Johnny Depp is like he's very casual with his and then other people they do the whole like And I thought Jude Law was tremendous. I think as young Dumbledore he just exudes charisma.
I thought he was pretty good. And I do want to see him do more, but I'm really disappointed because I think him and Johnny Depp do not look like
lovers.
Lovers.
Yeah.
The young ones of them that you previously...
They brought the old guy back, the one that was in...
Yeah.
Same actor. I was really happy with that.
When they showed that thing in the mirror or whatever it was, I was like, I mean, I want to watch the movie with those two kids, you know? Like, that looks like an interesting, I guess, love story, maybe.
Maybe we'll get some more flashbacks or something.
Maybe.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny.
But can you imagine
I sound like I love this movie.
looks like a forlorn lover to Johnny Depp? That's going to be weird.
Yeah.
I don't want to watch that. That makes me so uncomfortable thinking about.
Yeah, I suppose.
He was like looking into the mirror, Vera said, like longingly, and I was like, that's just... I don't feel good about that.
Yeah, it's funny. So Dumbledore must be like 100 then in Harry Potter.
Yeah, he's like 107 or 17 or something. But they say that, like, magic keeps you alive. McGonagall was supposed to be like...
Handy that, yeah.
Yeah. But McGonagall was supposed to be like 80 or something, which means she would be like born just... like maybe 10 in the years of Grindelwald.
Again, it was so funny.
And everyone's like, she shouldn't be a teacher.
Again, I was like, was that McGonagall? Oh, that's cool. What a cool cameo. And then I go online, it's like, raw, because it's like she's not meant to be born.
I was that guy when I was watching it. I was like, why is she already at Hogwarts?
Didn't give a fuck.
I hated it.
Didn't give a fuck. And you know what? I really like the scene of him showing clips from World War II and the nuclear bomb going off. I got fucking goosebumps.
So that was...
I thought that was incredible.
That was supposed to be seeing the future, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was like a prediction. They have those orbs or whatever. And he was like, look at the humans. And I was like, we've never seen wizards scared of humans. And I thought that was incredible.
That was cool,
He's like, look at this fucking nuclear bomb. What the fuck is this? How did the humans suddenly have this kind of destructive power? What the shit? And he was like, we should be worried. And then I guess like, and I just thought that was incredible. And then even Jacob's like, oh, not another war, because he was a World War I veteran. And I was like, I just thought it was really powerful.
There could have been a lot more about that. Like that was clever, I guess. And I know it'll be in the next film.
Well, no, that's not what I was going to say. As awesome as it was, it kind of, when you think about it too much, it kind of falls apart because you're like, so the wizards could have like prevented World War II and they didn't? Or like, were there Nazi wizards? Oh,
I guess that's kind of what Grindelwald is. Yeah.
Oh, solved it, nailed it. That's the third movie right there. I don't know. Once you think about that, it's similar to Wonder Woman. How she leaves after World War II. Like, where the fuck did she go for 80 years? And then she pops back with...
We could have used her in
Vietnam. Yeah. Anyway, I think let's wrap it there. All right. So I just want to say some thanks to some lovely people that we had on the podcast. All our lovely guests that we had. Iona Francis, Michael Van Berkel, Costa Hatzivalsamis, Thomas Medina, who also hosts the podcast on iTunes. Thanks, buddy, because I couldn't figure it out. We had Felix Baker back, and thanks again, Felix, for letting me use his computer to edit these on, which is so funny, because, like, I had someone, they didn't realize we filmed it on an iPhone. They were like, I can't believe you film it on an iPhone. And I was like, yeah, dude, it's funny what you can do with amazing light and so a little bit of color correction, and it looks pretty good. And Amy Joyce, thank you so much for the lights. They just make it look so much better, so much nicer. Darren Edwards, another guest. Lily and Haley for coming on for the Disney one. Thank you so much. Thank you, Ash Gregory, as well. He gave me a little sound, like he just told me some tips and tricks on how to do sound, because I don't know sound that much, so he helped with some input stuff.
You do pretty good.
Yeah. Well, if you hear a hum, that's the cicadas outside. I can't do anything about that. I need to... It's annoying. And you know what, Sean? Thank you.
No, thank you.
This was a fun season.
I feel like I'm the least helpful person on that whole list. I just like rock up every week and I just sit here and
like, what are we doing?
Bark opinions from the other side of the table.
Like, Sean, talking to the mic, yes. Like, let's do a test or something.
Don't be so loud. Stop singing.
No, okay, that was season 2, guys. I hope you enjoyed it as much as we did.
Thanks for coming along for the journey.
Yeah.
I had fun.
Me too. All right, and we'll see you next year, I suppose. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. And Happy New Year. All right, see you guys.
Merry Christmas, you filthy animals.
Goodbye, guys. Oh, from Animal Farm?
Hey?
Is that... Wait.
No, that's Home Alone, I think.
Oh, okay.
Isn't it?
Well, sorry, if you're watching this... Oh, wait, no, it'll come out later.
When is it coming out? Should we be saying?
I was going to
say New Year.
No, because Haley and Lily are in a Shakespeare play.
Oh, yeah.
And Animal Farm as well. That's Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's on Facebook. Check it out. Definitely go see it. The problem is I don't know if this episode will be up in time. We'll see about that. All right. Thanks, guys. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Thanks all of you. Bye.